We know what we are facing. It's like when Mr. Jonathan was going, he has gone with democracy. Democracy has gone, and that's why we are here, for him to restore the democracy of our country. We know what is happening in our area. People are not in their homes. We cannot sleep with our eyes. Most of us have been destabilized.
I see so many videos online, Northerners, when they do campaign, they try to call Jonathan back. After una betray him 2015, una pour Jonathan spit for face. I pour una say, I pour una spit. Now the North now una go against Jonathan in 2015. We no fit forget that. That's what I know. Do even politicians they go against them. Over Father Mbaka, that Reverend Father, blessed and Enugu Inde, he go against Jonathan. I still get the video. Internet need they forget. Now the Northerners now una go against Jonathan in 2015. Una vote out. Say na waterbed. Say he no get power. I beg anybody when know Jonathan, tag him to this video. Or any media, just tag him. Jonathan, I beg you with the name of God. You see this trap when Northerners then they set. No fall for them. These same people will pour you spit for face. Now these same people now, they carry your poster. For Gombe State, for Jigawa State, for Kano State, all of them now they shout. Say in 2027, we need Jonathan. What happened 2015? What happened 2015? Una pour Jonathan spit for face. Una vote out. They throw bomb everywhere. Scatter this man. Even the wife. Una scatter her. When she tells her, there is God though. They whipped. Una pour these people spit for face. Now, una waiting for that North. Now, una they call Jonathan. Black Jesus, them. Una they call Jonathan. Say, make it call rescue now for this country, 2027. Jonathan, I use God. Beg you. All these things where they talk, no answer these people, they are betrayers. Somebody will betray you 2015. Now you can't do them. Now they see you as Messiah of Nigeria. Say, make you come again in 2027. Say they won't bring you out, make you be president. And they see as the thing they fly. Then they do the meeting for North. Say that they find somebody. Now we go fit Kata Tunumbu. Now, Jonathan, they won't bring you out again. Jonathan, this thing is a trap. I beg you. You are a good man. Be very, very careful. Anybody will know Jonathan, tag him to this video. Because this not an I don't understand. Somebody who don't go there, come back. That 2015, una pour and spit. Una betray him. Now, I see they carry poster now. They hail him. Say, make you come outside again, 2027. Jonathan, please, I beg you with the name of God. No answer anybody. Anybody will see, no answer them. Just they do your good, they go like that. Anything will concern President Jonathan, don't go. Leave this woman and settle their case with Nigeria.
I never knew that a day like this would come, when I would have to make a video like this. I was one of the few, if not the only one at the time, who went to protest in front of the Nigerian embassy against the policy of President Goodluck Jonathan to remove the oil subsidy. At the time he wanted to do it. I felt at the time that it was going to unleash great pain on Nigerians, on the masses of the country. Well, I would not say I regretted having to participate in that protest. We didn't have enough information at our disposal then to know whether it was good to do or whether they were paying the subsidy to those they were claiming were receiving the subsidy, and everything that surrounded that subsidy at the time. So, like I said, I did not know that a day would come when I will have to make a video like this. President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, if you are hearing me or you are watching this video, I want to apologize to you for criticizing you at the time that I did, because the event of things that I have seen since you left office has shown without any iota of doubt that you are the best president that this country has had in the history of our democracy. We thought you were a weakling, that you lacked idea. I think that of all the people who have ruled Nigeria in this democratic dispensation, you are the only true Democrat. I make bold to say it. You are the best president Nigeria ever had. We have seen the true color of those who claimed they were going to bring change. We have seen that they lacked the notion of what the common man is really going through in Nigeria, and that their only interest is to stack their pocket. Even, I would dare to say, with the permission of the late Miriam Babangida, the wife of President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, that your wife, Madam Patience Jonathan, is the second best first lady that this country has produced after Miriam Babangida. The rest that we see are just wicked people. They're just Jezebel. In fact, if you see the way they act, you will know they are even more wicked than their husband. That is just the truth concerning this video. I want to apologize. I hope you will find a place in your heart to forgive me and people who have come to the realization of the truth and know that you meant well for this country. What even made you a greater person is the fact that you came out and you said that your ambition to be the president of Nigeria is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. History will never forget you for that. And that is why I think that I should make this video. Thank you very much for your great service to our nation, Nigeria.
So I saw a protest that was organized on the 9th day of April that actually made me to laugh. The protest was all about former President Goodluck Jonathan, clamoring for him to come and contest for 2027 election. And it made me to ask, which way are we going in 2027? Are we going towards the direction of coalition or towards the direction of the ruling party? Or are we still going to scout for extra candidacy in people like President Goodluck Jonathan? I'm going to play that video.
The question is just one and the answer are numerous. Why do we want the president to come back to govern the country once more? Well, you can see there is a saying in Hausa that we have tested 2 presidents, and then his record is still outshining the former, which is the late president, and then the present president. There was a protest to remove the president then, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, because of insecurity. By statistics, then and now, if I would turn my face to this tumult crowd behind to ask, when was Nigeria safer? You will hear that a very loud and outstanding sound that Nigeria was safer during Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. I have traversed the country with him in 2015. He is a pure, genuine Democrat. And the banter against him that the current president is not Goodluck Jonathan shows that the man actually has something that the others don't have. Because when the results yet to be declared, he admitted and then congratulated the then president. So he's a man that with his human milk and then his kind of person, he can unify the country. He will bring the people together. So we are here as a people representing Nigeria, the entirety of Nigeria, that he should come. He's the right person because he had been there before. And it is a trend that has gone around the globe. We have the president of America that was there before. He's back in America. We have that of Ghana. We have numerous of them across the globe. So it is actually a wind of change across the continents of the world. So we are saying that he's a man Nigeria will trust. He's a man that can pilot the affairs of this country without any bias. So that is just the simple reason why we have come to ask him that throw the hat in the ring and let the foot soldiers do the work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So you have seen the protest. Those groups, they call themselves the Bring Back Goodluck Jonathan movement. So you listen to them. According to them, they said that things were better off, when Goodluck Jonathan was the president of Nigeria. And sometimes people will ask, is this not the man that you people booed before now to leave office? But aside from that, some also said that, it is all about power sharing formula, that a segment of, northern elites are also considering people like Goodluck Jonathan because they are attractive to power sharing formula, owing to the fact that Goodluck Jonathan is only eligible for one term, constitutionally speaking. But now the question you ask is President Goodluck Jonathan actually eligible for the 2027 election or any other election in Nigeria? Now, we'll look at the provisions of Section 137, sub 3. But before we look at that, I want to just lay a foundation as to whether or not Goodluck Jonathan is eligible. Goodluck Jonathan contested the presidency with late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua in 2007. Now, by 2010, 5th of May 2010, Yar'Adua died. And Goodluck Jonathan was sworn in the stead of Yar'Adua on the 6th day of May 2010. Goodluck Jonathan finished the term of Yar'Adua and contested for another election and won, and was now sworn in again as a president. Now, his tenure ended in 2015, but he contested again. However, he lost to President Muhammadu Buhari, and he left. By 2018, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 Constitution, was altered to include a unique provisions to the requirements of contesting for a president of Nigeria in Section 137. Now, for those of you who must not have probably, read the provisions of Section 137, Section 137 of the Constitution of the Nigeria is where you have the requirements to contest election in Nigeria. The eligibility requirements, what you must meet before you can contest for a president in Nigeria. So, that provision, I'm going to read it now. And what does the provision says? The provision of Section 137. Now, it says that a person who was sworn in as a president to complete the term for which another person was elected as a president shall not be elected to such office for more than a single term. What is it saying? The Constitution is saying that if you came in as a vice president of Nigeria or as a deputy governor of any state, and maybe your principal, your boss, who is the president or who is the governor, has other reasons to resign or maybe dies, if you are sworn in his stead, you are only entitled to contest election for another one term again. The idea is just to be able to regulate that you do not exceed the 8-year term that the Constitution envisages in Nigeria. So, Goodluck Jonathan was sworn in on the 5th day of May 2010, and he contested again. So, the argument is whether Goodluck Jonathan, having completed the term of President Yar'Adua and sworn in as a president, whether he is also eligible again. Because if by any chance, ex-President Goodluck Jonathan is sworn in for another term again, he would exceed the 8-year term. By then, he must have done 9 years. So, in 2022, as against 2023 election, when there were rumors that President Goodluck Jonathan was going to contest, the eligibility of President Goodluck Jonathan contesting was tested in court, in the Federal High Court in Bayelsa. It was tested at the Federal High Court, Bayelsa. The question was whether the court should determine whether Goodluck Jonathan was eligibility owing to the provisions of that section, Section 137 sub 3. And Justice Issa Haman Dashen, after reading the arguments of both parties, held that President Goodluck Jonathan is eligible to contest for another term. His reasons was the fact that the alteration that brought in that provisions, that special provision, Section 137 sub 3, was done in 2018. And that was when President Goodluck Jonathan had left office. President Goodluck Jonathan was the president of Nigeria from 2010 to 2015 when he lost to Muhammadu Buhari. So the alteration was done 3 years after he left office. So the court held, the Federal High Court, through Justice Issa Hammer, held that that provision is not applicable to President Goodluck Jonathan because the law of Nigeria does not work retroactively. What does that mean? You cannot make a law to catch up with events that happened before the law was made. If an event happened now and you are making law maybe in 1 year term, it is not going to catch up with those that partook in whatsoever event that was made. So the court held that it does not apply to President Goodluck Jonathan. However, that judgment of the Federal High Court was not actually appealed because President Goodluck Jonathan did not, indicate interest to contest. But if President Goodluck Jonathan, by whatsoever means, indicates interest to feed in as a candidate in the 2027 election, I also believe that there is possibilities, for other stakeholders, critical stakeholders, to appeal that judgment to the Supreme Court, whether or not the Supreme Court will construe it, within the judgment of Justice Issa Hammer. Some persons will also say that the case of President Goodluck Jonathan is also impari materia, is also of similar capacity with that of Lucky Ayedatiwa. Sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. Talking about the present governor of Ondo State. Ayedatiwa, took the oath of office from the late Akeredolu when he died in 2023, December 2023. And later, he contested also, in 2024. So, there is a court judgment, a high court judgment that is saying that Ayedatiwa is not eligible. People are saying that he's not eligible to contest again. The difference between that and Goodluck Jonathan is the fact that Ayedatiwa took oath of office after the alteration was done, after the 2018 alteration. So the law applies to him. So invariably, President Goodluck Jonathan might just be that exception that the Constitution would, give that grace. But then you now ask, why is President Goodluck Jonathan's name coming up now? After all the, 2015 bulls and all that, after how he was talked down, why is his name always coming up and coming up? You saw the crowd. So why is his name always coming up? It is not far-fetched from what I've earlier established. It's not the fact that he has all the answers to whatever that is the problem of Nigeria today. It's not the fact that he would be a better president other than all other candidates that are, vying for that position. It is only for the fact that President Goodluck Jonathan is the only person that will be trusted for one term, so that power will definitely go back to the North, because he cannot exceed beyond the constitutional provisions. So if everything is said and done, and it happens that President Goodluck Jonathan is going to be fielding in as a candidate in the 2027 election, it also means that it will be very, very easy to negotiate power. Once it is said and done that President Goodluck Jonathan wins, he would gladly give power back to the North without problem. There are also persons that are also saying that it is just a mere ploy to divide the vote of the South. That if the Northerners, the Northern political elites, if they decide to feed in a candidate in 2027 election, President Goodluck Jonathan would be a good spoiler of the Southern votes. That is from the Bush radio, from some segments, some sectors. As about whatsoever it takes, we know that if President Goodluck Jonathan decides to feed in as a candidate, then his eligibility will not just end at the Federal High Court. It will be tested, at the Supreme Court. I strongly believe that there will be a leave of the court, permission to appeal since it has passed the time to appeal. But then, definitely, it will be tested.
The only one person with Tinubu no want make it contest this election at Goodluck Jonathan. Because why? Goodluck Jonathan be like honey. When you sit down, they carry a bucket of honey, come drop for your front, come the fresh and they give you like this, they drink. Then suddenly, you just turn your face, they don't carry the honey, run come out. Now that they tell you, say that honey, they come back. say that honey they come back. Goodluck Jonathan is the only candidate that his political interest. If Goodluck Jonathan declare today, he does scatter the APC structure. Governors in APC will drop the Tinubu cap and join him. No other politician for Nigeria today could make any governor for APC drop cap, join without say bribe. People from different parasata, people who inside the Tinubu team, plenty they will drop cap, run follow Goodluck to fight the fight. So simple. If all the political parties already say they won't collect this thing from BAT, then they should not produce any presidential candidate. Let the election be between BAT and Goodluck. All them article everybody they here. I don't care how they want to do it. And then the election should be between BAT and Goodluck Jonathan. North Central, North East, West, South, everywhere. Nobody will know Goodluck Jonathan with evidence, not be just promise. Goodluck Jonathan has what to campaign with, evidence to campaign with, substance to campaign with, not promise. It's easier to tell somebody say Goodluck is coming back than to tell people say I want to be president. It's easier to say Goodluck is coming back, Goodluck Nigeria is coming back, than to say I want to be president, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. No, it's easier to say Goodluck is coming back. Goodluck Jonathan is a more national accepted candidate than any other candidate when they now as opposition. But this is why I feel like Goodluck Jonathan is the only place that can battle bat in a coalition. But if you come up Goodluck Jonathan, these other people then I just split. Like me, I don't talk, I hide my own. If Goodluck is not coming, I will vote for what's it called, BAT, because BAT will mess everybody up. He will squeeze everybody ticket. But in one accord, if they push Goodluck out, then everybody come back in one accord. BAT will not withstand it. Because there is no conflict that will come with it. Everybody will accept that candidate. But if we push Atiku out, conflict will come. Some people will say no, and they go. If you push Obi out, the same conflict will come out. If you push Amishi, conflict will come out. If you push Kwans, conflict will come out. Goodluck come out, there will be no conflict anywhere. Anybody they both face, don't go relax. It's easier to say Goodluck is coming back than to say I want to be president. I want to do this if I become president. Vote for me. So this is my take. And secondly, for now they say Goodluck na woman rapper na quiet guy. Hello sir, you don't know him. Me I know Goodluck Christian House. I'm not from media. Do you know the meaning of Ebele? Ebele is not an Igbo name. It is an Ogbia name. It means flame of fire. That's the meaning. Ask Bayelsa people who be Ogbia people. Goodluck is just a slow poison. Not be saying they fear you. Now that kind of man be saying you look at a smile like this, you they go. Now that kind of man. You understand? Now before you raise his voice out, now say you don't really touch him. He's not a fool. He's not a fool. He's a rugged man. So no go deceive yourself. See, because say Goodluck is not a human rapper. We take his kindness and his simplicity for granted as Nigerians. You understand? But I'm telling you that he's the only one that can pull this stunt for us if you want to defeat BAT. If once Goodluck is out of this race, don't forget, every other person is a walkover for BAT. Every other person is a walkover because Goodluck is the only person that his presidential ambition will destroy the APC existing structure and change the Nigerian political landscape.
Hi. In as much as we know that the only opposition who can make Tinubu to be defeated is Goodluck. I think Goodluck need to still rest because people who are there crying that they are facing a lot were the people who made you to force your way out during your time. So their plan that they had planned didn't work, and now they are shouting democracy is gone. Where does he go to? We should ask them that question. And who took democracy? Is it Goodluck that took democracy away, or it is the North who make democracy go away itself? They just ask them that question, because as long as the North is still here with us, there would be nothing like democracy. And it is not Goodluck that will come and look for democracy for anybody, because he's like a father to everybody. There's nobody who can even deny that he didn't say anything bad during when he was there and during his time there. Everybody was saying different things when he was there, controlling that he was doing bad, and a lot of persons were even pushing wrong narrative on him that he was the person who has or who brought different people that were acquiring people then. And I think that should even be something that he should reason and never let him to come back, because the way they hit him that time, I don't think any of the presido here has ever been hated like that before. No presido here has ever been hated like that before. Even me talking here, when he was there too, everybody's apologizing. So let me just use my own medium, because when he was there, the only thing that made me to go against him is not because of how economics was then. It was because of how people were buying, and he was in power and could not know what to do about it. That is what even made me to talk bad things more about him. If not, I love him and I love his rule and how he controlled everything. Because if everybody should be like him, I think we should keep enjoying by now. Because before he left, I think we were buying diesel, I think 15 naira, and this other thing 110. And even the 110 self, a lot of persons were still complaining. That 110 now is not even valuable. It doesn't have any value in our current situation now. That is the type of thing that people so want, because people don't like good thing. People always comment good thing when the thing is gone. You know that people always realize good thing where it is no longer there. That is what we are facing today. And using this medium to tell Goodluck that he shouldn't listen to anybody. Even though he wants to come back, he should not come back by word that came out from these people. He should come back anytime he wants to come back. He should come back anytime his own mind has chosen, because he may come back now and these people will want to control him again by saying that they were the person who made you to come back. So whatever thing we will be telling you, you should be following it. So he shouldn't come back anytime people are asking him to come back. He should come back when his mind tells him to come back. So all of you making noise, you from the south, you from the north, and you from the middle belt that is making noise, stop making noise. We are part of all we are facing today, because we don't calculate most of our thing we do. If we have been calculating, I don't think the two persons who has ruled after Goodluck would have been there. We are doing our thing with tribalism, sentiment, and many other things. That is what made every one of us to be facing a lot. If not, as it stands, the way resources and many other things have grown, we were not even supposed to be suffering the way it has been today. Because even when Goodluck was there, I think the money he borrowed with subsidy is not even up to the one that the current president, which is Tinubu, has borrowed today. So take your choice and don't let anyone deceive you. Thank you. And to those of you who are just new here, you can drop whatever thing you want to say below. And also, if today is the first time you come in, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.